will follow this Widnes side. These two teams, of course, warming up with a vengeance for Wembley next week. And here come Hull, and there'll be a lot of noise now. A wonderful atmosphere here for what could be the championship decider, what is certainly a preview for next Saturday's Wembley. Hull, with by far the best points difference of the top three in the championship table, have to win this match today and then wait an hour to see what has happened at Lee, and how ironic it would be if it takes a Hull KR victory to give Hull the championship. Arthur Bunting, the Hull coach, has switched Luluai to sub, with Terry Day starting the game at centre. On the Hull side, Steve Knockanaughton, currently right at the top of his form with Hull. His signing was one of the many astute moves made by Hull in their team building. 6 tries this season. And on the Widnes side, Mick Adams, the player who's up and under kick, set up the try scoring in the last minute against Leeds. 1 try this season, but he's made countless for others. Widnes have the same task, or tasks, as Hull, and the same anxious hour-long wait at the end of this game. They must win this cup final rehearsal and then hope that Lee have lost. The coach, Doug Lawton, has put out his full-strength side with John Myler and Steve O'Neill as substitutes. The referee, John Holdsworth of Leeds, the kick-off by Sammy Lloyd for Hull. And, of course, there's a lot of psychological warfare inherent in this match as these two sides flex muscles for Wembley. And it's Widnes in possession inside their own half. Lockwood back in action. O'Neill. Elwell is at acting halfback. Lockwood trying to hand off Skerrett, who puts him down with the assistance of Lloyd. Adams, Gawley. Adams, Gregory. Not a lot of room for Prescott to move. Lloyd made sure he had even less. Gregory's acting halfback. Adams will presumably kick this time. Then he goes deep down the middle over the head of Banks, who has to turn tail and go back for it. Banks tries to go around Vasnet and is taken by O'Loughlin. It looks like Hull ball again. Harkin has it. Hull keep it moving with Stone, with Tofflis inside to Norton. Looking for someone to pass to. No, Lloyd came up, but just a second or two too late. Still Hull plough in. Crane trying to sell a dummy. Gets it out. Skerrett's going to have to go back for it. A little ground lost, but the Widnes defence stretched as Gawley grabs hold of Skerrett. And they need some cover on the Widnes right. Here's a drop goal by Norton, and that's the first score. Well, the try wouldn't come, so Steve Norton decided that 1 point was enough.
Well, the point's rolling. Trevor Skerrett retrieving that ball, driving in hard, and it's Les Gawley who meets him shoulder to shoulder. Steve Norton taking up his position on the Oldham side and calmly drops a goal to push Hull 1 point ahead.
Widnes to kick off 1-0 down, but after all that pressure they will regard one as, well, a bit of a let-off. They tackled magnificently, gave nothing away, and Steve Norton had to break the deadlock with a drop goal. Now Banks. Dumped. Wildman. 6 more tackles because of Widnes' boot had touched the ball. Crane. Harkin. Very few tackles have been missed so far this afternoon on both sides, but Widnes have had to do most of the tackling. That's inside to Tofflis. Evans to Stone. Wildman to Evans, and gently puts into touch. Absorbing game, only 1 point in at the moment, the drop goal by Norton for Hull, but these two sides highly keyed, highly charged for this game. Gregory has it, but he's lost connection, and O'Hara. That's, well, not exactly a try-saving tackle by Basner, but O'Hara was well on his way. That's Norton now, with Hull coming again, and what a dummy by Norton. What a lovely dummy, what a lovely pass to Topless. Can he get the ball out? No, but the Widnes defence is spread eagle if Hull can take advantage. There's Norton to Harkin. But Norton almost opened up the Widnes defence. Inside to Crane. Crane to Wildman, knocked on. He just walked over. Crane set it up for Wildman. All he had to do was catch it.
Oh, tragedy for Ronnie Wildman. He starts it from acting halfback. The drive by Mike Crane. Ronnie's there in just the right position, but he just can't hold that ball that would have pushed Hull, I should think, at least 5 points ahead. That was right by the side of the post.
Gregory has it, but even when they've had possession, Widnes have not been able to break out of their own quarters. Tackling on both sides, absolutely tigerish, so much at stake. Gregory. O'Neill. Gawley gets it out to Prescott, but Widnes not gaining any ground at all. Hull are stopping them in their tracks. And it's the sixth tackle. Gregory. Adams, the deep kick. Banks, the man who fields it. Hughes and Wright bring him down. Hull once again in possession, once again on attack. They lead by just the 1 point, but in terms of territorial domination, only one side in it at the moment, that's Hull. Harkin, Crane, tackled by Lockwood, and some of these Widnes forwards have already done enough tackling for a whole game. Norton, again the conjuring tricks. This time he brings Lloyd onto it. He's staggered by Prescott. Stone from Harkin, topless, feigning to drop a goal. Inside to Skerritt. Everybody's being brought in. Skerritt wanted to pass the ball, and six tackle. Yet another untidy scrum, but it looks as if Harkin's got possession again by Gregory's antics, and there goes Topless. Day to Topless. Topless is in for a try. The Widnes line had to crack sooner or later.
Great play from David Topless, taking it to the shorter side, drawing the defence, firing out a short one to Terry Day. Now how well Terry does here to stand up in the tackle. David supporting well, as he should be on the outside, and Stewart's right tackle is to no avail.
Early chance. Whose support is there? Sammy Lloyd will kick. To Hull. If Lloyd kicks this, it'll be 6. Sammy Lloyd, of course, competing with young Lee Cooks for a second row and goal kicking row at Wembley. On the 25 line. Just wide of the posts. The right footer should be able to swerve this one in. Here's Lloyd. Yes, shout the crowd. Yes, say the touch judges' flags. That's 6-0. David Topless's 11th try. Sammy Lloyd's 53rd goal. And Widnes, as the Hull crowd enjoy this, kicking off, yet to mount a serious assault on the Hull line. Prendeville is in open field. Skerritt gets it out to Harkin, to Stone. Stone gets it back, and Widnes have it. O'Neill. And for the first time since the start of the match, they're in an attacking position on the 25. There's Hughes going himself, and it's lost within 2 play the balls of Widnes having vital possession. They've blown it, and Hull are in possession again. Half an hour's gone. Hull 6, Widnes 0. There's Skerritt. Stone. Wildman to Harkin, to Crane. Gets it out to Norton. Norton to Lloyd. Hull keeping it moving beautifully. Crane to Harkin. Topless going right now, going down the middle. Harkin has Evans. Harkin still running to O'Hara. O'Hara's through, a lovely try, and it's all Hull at the moment. O'Hara in for his 14th try this season, and Hull waltzing it at the moment.
Magnificent play by Kevin Harkin here, threading his way through this tight Widnes defence, taking the tackle and slipping a beautifully timed pass to the Kiwi flyer, Dane O'Hara, number 2, there he is. Kieran O'Loughlin, John Bastard, no chance of stopping this man. Superb try for Hull. Making his way in towards the post, Sammy Lloyd should have no trouble with this extra goal.
9-0 as Sammy Lloyd with a fairly simple kick comes along to make it 11, and already the championship appears to be slipping away from Widnes. He kicks it, 11-0. Scoreline of 11-0 to Hull. Adams to Prescott. Still no way through. And there's the hooter. A good first half for Hull. A less than good first half for Widnes. All the traffic going towards the Widnes line. The half-time score, Hull 11, Widnes 0. Whistle blows to the second half. A summary of the first from David Oxley.
Well, a half that belonged almost exclusively to Hull had most of the ball, vast territorial advantage, but for 30 minutes this magnificent Widnes defence held everything Hull could throw at them, and that was plenty, with Norton and Topless prompting, Lloyd, Crane, Evans, Harkin running hard. But the superb Hull halfbacks eventually prized open the Chemics' defence. On the few occasions Widnes have been in the whole half, Hull's defence has been strong, and Widnes' own handling has been strangely weak at times. You can never write off this Widnes side, of course, but so far it's been Hull all the way.
In inside the Hull half after healing that vital scrum, and certainly so far Hull, who by the way have got their sub Lee Crooks on as they open the second half. Crane. Lee Crooks with Lloyd, the goal kickers in the Hull side. And it looks as if Knocker Norton has left the field, having done the damage in the first half. Mick Crane operating at loose forward. Both Crane and Adams standing out of the pack, as they're allowed to do, of course, these days. Forming extra half-backs, or three-quarters. 5-8 is Aussie's score. Penalty to Widnes, who need a pretty quick score to get back into this game, trailing 11 points to 0. The championship, of course, depending on what's happening between Lee and Hull Kingston Rovers, but Hull, with their vastly superior points difference over the other two, and 11 points to 0 lead today, making sure that they're in at the death. Lockwood to O'Neill. Oh, O'Neill's broken through 2-3 tackles. Well, Widnes coach Dougie Lawton may well have had a few things to say to his side at half-time, because once the side has lost momentum, it's terribly hard to get it back, and they want it back within 6 days at Wembley. Lockwood, Gawley coming up on the burst. Gawley to Elwell, Adams, Gregory, sells a dummy, squirming towards the line. Elwell is holding it to juggle it. Ooh, the long one. Hughes booted it. Hughes is all right. He got his boot to that. He's over. A remarkable try, because Eric Hughes did kick the ball. There's no doubt it wasn't a knock on. He kicked it ahead and forced his way over the line.
Intelligent play, not really a good ball, a long lob pass. Eric taps it forward, it bounces kindly for him, and he has the pace to go outside the cover and just make it to the corner. He still has a lot to do. He has to turn on his half on his back and wriggle out of Harkin's tackle, but he's made it. An important try for Widnes early in the second half.
Widnes very quickly getting a toehold on this game as Mick Burke digs his toe into the Boulevard turf to try to make it 11-5. One or two on the Hull side, I think, thought Eric Hughes might have knocked on. The pass wasn't a particularly good one, but it hit Hughes' boot. Burke, who can kick them from the touchline, there'll be no doubt about height and length. The direction will be the only question. And he's wide. Hull 11, Widnes 3. Mick Burke wide with a kick. Wildman slipping down, finding a gap. Likes to go from the acting half-back position. Ron Wildman. Hull on attack once again with Harkin, with Skerritt straightening up. Crooks for a drop goal. Yes, indeed.
Intelligent play by young Lee Crooks here, the Great Britain Colts captain, a thinker all the way, just grasping that pass. Number 15, there he is, sizing at the position and pushing Hull even further ahead.
Wildman inside to Crane. Crane keeps it going to Evans. Oh, Evans away, and a good tackle by Hughes. Evans almost got away then. Wildman topless. Hull powering in again with Crane. Crane to Lloyd. Another good build-up by Hull. Powering in against the line, but I think Mr. Holdsworth has seen an offence. A foul and a penalty to Hull.
Mick Crane laying off to Sammy Lloyd, number 12. He drives into Andy Gregory's tackle there, supported by Mick O'Neill, and driving forward, going to the ground. Now watch Andy Gregory, number 7. Yes, there, that left foot and the right foot on the fingertips of Sammy Lloyd. He won't be writing any love letters this weekend. And the penalty goes to Hull, quite rightly. Mr. Holdsworth right on the spot.
So Andy Gregory is spoken to after leaving his imprint on Sammy Lloyd. And Sammy Lloyd with a chance to exact full retribution in the shape of 2 points from a penalty. Sammy Lloyd making Andy Gregory pay for that moment of petulance. Adams. No, says Mr. Holdsworth, the ball was dead. Eric Hughes, of course, has a date with the disciplinary committee next Thursday, an important one for him. A certain amount of mayhem and skullduggery going on in that scrum. Out of the maelstrom comes Harkin and Crane. Day has wriggled clear. Inside to Crane. Hughes quickly into the tackle on Topless. Got it out to Evans, who's lost possession, and no, Mr. Holdsworth says Widnes cannot run away with the ball. One or two feelings are getting a bit heated on there now. Certain questions are being asked. On comes Luluai. David Topless trots off to give him a run. James Luluai. Adams. Oh well, Gregory to O'Neill. Lockwood on the verse with Prescott. Again, it's running into the brick wall. The whole defence has been this afternoon. In that case, in the person of Charlie Stone. Gawley. As Gawley uses a battering ram by Widnes, but to little effect this afternoon. And Gawley going in on Lloyd. I think Les Gawley will be spoken to here.
Les Gawley not happy at this ball being ripped from him in the tackle here by Sammy Lloyd. Number 12 there over the top. And in goes number 11, Les, with the knee there. Sammy Lloyd the recipient, and the penalty goes to Hull.
Sammy Lloyd in the wars this afternoon. He's had the attentions of Andy Gregory and Les Gawley. Neither of them very friendly. And Paul Prendeville to fine touch and set up A late attack by Hull. Well, are we to see a late burst by Hull? They've undoubtedly won this match. We'll have to wait another hour or so to find out whether they've won the championship. But at the moment, they're 20 yards from the Widnes line. This is Day to Luluai. Wildman, Harkin, Stone, Skerritt. Skerritt still going as hard in the closing stage as he was at the beginning. Travis Skerritt, one of the certainties for the Great Britain side against the Australians later this year. Travis Skerritt, there's Charlie Stone. Getting it out to Harkin, who's under the post. What a good finish by Hull. Stone making it for Harkin.
Fine play by Charlie Stone here. Watching come into the play, taking it from acting halfback there. Number 10, there he goes, off Ronnie Wildman. Fighting through the tackles, holding off Elwell. Good support play by scrum half Kevin Harkin, who scores a deserved try between the posts to set Hull well clean.
Take the kick that will make it 19-3. Sammy Lloyd the goal. Hull 19, Widnes 3. Straight into touch, penalty to Hull. We're into added time. There will be a little time added for injury. This will be a penalty for Hull because Mick Burke's kickoff went straight into touch. Prendeville can gain ground. And set up one final Hull attack. Oh, it's kicking a goal. No, they've decided that Sammy Lloyd will kick at goal from the halfway line. Well, Sammy Lloyd may well be wanting to prove to his coach Arthur Bunting something. There's been argument all season as to whether the best kicker is Sammy Lloyd or Lee Crooks. Crooks has kicked over 100 goals this season. Lloyd has kicked 56. And one of the two will get the job next week at Wembley, and that's Lloyd. What a kick! Well, the crowd think the hooter has gone. Mr. Holdsworth thinks the hooter has gone. A marvellous way to finish. Lloyd, a superb goal.
Magnificent kick this by Sammy Lloyd, dead on the centre circle, fully 50 yards. One like this at Wembley, where he had such an off day in 1980 in the final of that year, will suit him down to the ground. There she goes.
A wonderful finish But I imagine that even after today's comprehensive victory by Hull, their coach Arthur Bunting will not be fooled. There must be a feeling that Widnes have much more to show at Wembley next Saturday than they did this afternoon. Widnes certainly in the game for the first quarter with some marvellous tackling, but once Hull got in front, there was only one side in it. A great performance by Hull. Widnes, I feel, leaving just a little in reserve for next Saturday. Final score, Hull 21, Widnes 3. David, your opinions on that match?
Totally comprehensive on the day for Hull. Their pack in splendid form, allowing nothing at all for Widnes, tackling magnificent, most of the play in the Widnes quarter, and a completely dominant victory.
What do you think about Widnes? My own feeling, which I've expressed, is that Widnes were possibly, after that first 20 minutes, keeping something back for Wembley. What are your feelings on that?
I think the Dane O'Hara try, which stretched Hull's lead to 11 points just before the interval, probably killed them off. Hull were completely in charge from that moment onwards. Both coaches will have learnt a lot. Arthur Bunting certainly far too experienced, far too professional to read too much into what was a very creditable win, a very valuable win. Doug Lawton, well, he has been to Wembley, 6 times in 8 years with his team. He knows that Wembley on Saturday could be a very different story.
I think it's interesting, David. What a wonderful end to the season. We've still got the crowd here. There they are on the pitch, still waiting for the Hull KR result at Lee. You really couldn't wish for better support for a club than that, could you?
More people here than to listen to Hull KR's result than will be at some matches this afternoon. No, absolutely magnificent here on Humberside. In many ways, the capital of rugby league at the moment, setting the standards in the way they play, and of course the support they attract. Absolutely marvellous season they've had here.
And a quick look ahead to next Saturday. Any thoughts about what sort of a game we're going to get?
I think we shall have a very good final. We need a good final, really, a good open game. Both sides will keep the ball alive. I'm quite sure of that. They'll go flat out. We shall have a splendid game. I doubt whether one or the other will win by 18 clear points, as Hull did today.
Arthur, it must be a big disappointment to you after that performance that Lee have won and will probably win the title on Wednesday at Whitehaven.
Well, I suppose that is the feeling that's around now, Keith, but, you know, we shall be on top for the next 3 days, and I don't think that they've won it by any means yet. They've got to beat Whitehaven at Whitehaven, and we've offered Whitehaven £1 million to beat them, but I don't think that'll be quite enough, to be honest. But we played today for first or second spot, and we've got second spot, and we've still a chance for the first.
Now, looking ahead now to Wembley on Saturday, you're an experienced player and coach, Arthur. You probably don't really think that Widnes will play on Saturday as they did today.
Well, we closed them down today, you see, Keith. We didn't allow them to play. You know, we went out to do that. We went out to tackle them, to close them down, and we did it. The lads did the job really well. You know, Wembley's a completely different game. You can forget about this one. It's a model booster. But you can forget about it because it's got a different magic as Wembley, and it's a different game.
But you must be quite confident after seeing the way your lads played today that you can repeat this victory on Saturday.
Oh, of course I am. We've played similar to this a lot this season. You know, maybe a little bit more flair in attack. We didn't show the flair that we can show in attack today as much as we can do normally. But we got his defence right, which matters a great deal in cup ties.
But you said just now you didn't get your flair in attack right, and yet the try by Dane O'Hara was a beautiful piece of attacking play, wasn't it?
Oh yes, well we did all the playing today, Keith, didn't we?
There's the try coming up.
Yes. See, we had all the play. I mean, that was a beautiful ball off topless. Kevin found a lot of space, and Dane O'Hara came inside of him beautiful. But, and you know, I think that try sealed the game. You know, we've got a lot of pace now, a lot of good footballers, a lot of pace, and if we can get our defence right, I don't think any team can live with us.
So you're tipping, obviously, a Hull victory on Saturday, and will it come through your attacking play or through your defensive capabilities?
Well, we've got as good an attack as anybody in the league, if we can defend, and we've obviously proved that by the points that's been scored against us throughout the season. So, we're a good defensive side, a very good attacking side, we're coming on song at the right time. So, yeah, you know, I fancy it a little bit at Wembley.
Well, those are the thoughts of Arthur Bunting on Saturday's big event at Wembley. But, of course, Arthur stands strictly on one side of the fence. Here, sitting astride it with his Wembley preview, is Keith Macklin.
One thing is already certain: Hull will win the Battle of the Noise, with Wembley sounding like a transplanted boulevard. Hull will have sold around 30,000 tickets by Saturday, an enormous figure, and they also anticipate neutral support from the uncommitted. Widnes, especially after yesterday's defeat, feared a big dip in sales this week, but the Norton Park finance manager, Ronnie Close, told me tonight that sales today were well above average, and despite pessimistic forecasts, the Widnes contingent at Wembley would be around 12,000. That's only 1,000 less than last year. Despite the recession and the fact that Widnes fans no longer regard going to Wembley as a novelty, now it's an annual event. And there's no way the Widnes coach Doug Lawton is going to throw in the towel after yesterday's beating. He said today, Saturday is another place and another game. Hull were at home yesterday before their home crowd. Everyone is fit and I'm confident we can win on Saturday. There won't be more than 5 points in it. So the Widnes team could be the same that played yesterday, with a big question mark against Eric Hughes, who has a disciplinary date on Thursday. I anticipate for Hull there'll be a place at full-back for Kemble and a place for big Keith Tyndall in the Hull front row, with Trevor Skerrett dropping back to second row. Hull are looking for only their second Challenge Cup success in 10 attempts and their first ever win at Wembley. Unless Widnes lift their game remarkably on Saturday, Hull should get it.
Well, that Boulevard result yesterday means that Hull stay on top until Wednesday, when, barring all surprises, Lee will win the title for the first time in 75 years by avoiding defeat at Whitehaven. And, of course, their attractive rugby will surely earn it for them. Well, let's look at the league tables and look ahead to the Premiership. If Leeds win their game with York, the Premiership first round will be Lee against Warrington, Hull against St Helens, Widnes versus Leeds, and Hull KR against Bradford Northern. If Leeds fail against York, then they go to Hull and St Helens to Widnes. At the bottom, barring mathematical miracles, nothing can save Wakefield Trinity going down with Fulham, York and Whitehaven. At the top of Division 2, the Oldham win at Carlisle before a crowd of nearly 6,000 almost certainly means the championship going to watersheddings. Halifax, having got over the Rochdale hurdle, should get the 4th promotion place by beating Huyton and Doncaster. And now let's have a look at the top try and goal scorers. And still well in front in the try lists, one more yesterday, is the Workington Town Centre, John Jones, with 31. Lee's international winger Des Drummond has 25, and in joint third place, moving up alongside John Basnett of Widnes on 24, is Carlisle's prop forward Mick Morgan, the first prop to figure in the top 3. Among the goal kickers, it's still Lynn Hopkins banging them over for Workington. He now has 182. George Fairbairn of Hull KR is still second with 158, and Lee's John Woods is close behind Fairbairn with 154. And so that's it from Rugby League action for another season. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the games that we have shown you, and we hope to see you all again next season. Until then, we leave you with that extraordinary Dane O'Hara try that really seemed to take all the fight out of Widnes. So from all of us here on Rugby League Action, it's good night and goodbye.